Who do you think is the second best team in this league, TL?
I have Kentucky currently. I just like the guys that are around him, and I like the way Mark Pope coaches. I was able to watch him a couple of times in person down at the Battle for Atlantis, how he orchestrates the offense, how he has some continuity with Jaxson Robinson, who I think is going to be a stud for him, transferred with him from BYU. And the guys just fit together, it seems like. Amari Williams, a defensive guy. Kobe Brea shot like 47% from three. That's good. A couple of these other guys too, like Brandon Garrison. I didn't think they got the best out of him at Oklahoma State. And then Kirk Creason and Lamont Butler in the same backcourt. It's like, why is Lamont Butler getting looked over some? I'm a little bit curious because
I agree with that.
He is so good defensively. Like you're just not scoring on him. Like he's that good. And then when you have guys that are willing to play a role and a potential for a guy to really stand out and have like a great season playing alongside all these guys that are willing to play a role, you could be dangerous. And Jaxson Robinson's that guy in my opinion, but you look at Andrew Carr, another really good role player. Otega Oweh, I'm not sure many people play harder than him. Actually, there might be one, and he's on his own team, and that's Lamont Butler. Like, I just like the way the pieces fit. And I also know that Mark Pope can really coach. But the most intriguing thing of the entire summer, I know I'm going back a little bit, was watching Kentucky fans go from, I can't believe we hired Mark Pope, to within 2 days being like, I can't wait to run this 5-out offense. Like it was unbelievable how quickly that turned once they kind of understood what all was happening. He's done a good job living up to the billing, I guess the grandiose and the bigness, quote unquote, bigness.
He gets it, man.
That is Kentucky. He understands all that. They got to coach. They got to win. And they're doing it completely different than they've done in the past 10 to 15 years.
My one concern with them, Fanta, and I'm curious your opinion on this. I feel like to me, depth gets a little bit overrated because I don't know what your top 7 is. And I don't know if your top 7 is necessarily going to be better than other top 7s, while your top 10 might be better than others. Does that make sense? Like, I just wonder,
coach,
do they have a guy? Like, do they have a dude? Do they have a star?
So
Jaxson Robinson.
Yeah, there's two parts of this. Number one, I agree with you. That top 10 is overrated. You need 6 or 7. Jay Wright won national championships with 6 guys. The thing in my mind is this. It's key for a coach, especially in year 1, to accept the fact that he's got to rip the hearts out of a couple of the guys he recruited.
If you haven't heard by now, we have partnered with BetMGM Sportsbook. We are going to be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we'll have special offers for the listeners and the viewers of the Field of 68 throughout the year. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, you can use bonus code FIELD, and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. The best part, all you need to do is deposit and bet $10 of your own hard-earned money to be eligible. Here's how you make it work. Download the BetMGM app and sign up using that bonus code FIELD. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game, and you will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure that you use that bonus code FIELD when you sign up. BetMGM is going to have some fun offers available throughout the NBA playoffs. Bet insurance tokens, odds boost, and what I love, a nice parlay booster too from time to time, as well as a ridiculous array of player prop bets for any sport that you could possibly imagine betting on. BetMGM is and always will be the king of the prop bet. So go download the BetMGM app, use the bonus code FIELD, and sign up today. And while I've got you, a quick request. The best way to support the Field of 68 content that you get for free is to engage with us. Rate and review the podcast. Like and share the YouTube videos. Tell your friends about us. It all helps in a world where the algorithm is king. And now, back to the show.
At the end of the day, if they get paid, they get paid.
Yeah.
It's a little bit better when the biweekly paycheck still shows up. But you've got to make some hard decisions. You got to make some hard decisions, and you got to be gutless at times in how you make those decisions to say, look, you're not good enough to be playing in the last 5 minutes of this game. You have to coach with conviction. Now, I'm not a coach, but if I'm putting myself in those shoes, looking at some other first-year coaches, I think it's taken too long for them to figure out their rotation. And let's be honest here, guys. Mark Pope doesn't have long to figure out what his rotation looks like. That schedule's tough. And non-con has several.
It always is, yeah.
It always is. At Kentucky, you don't have time to figure anything out. You don't have time to figure out what you're going to put on when you get up in the morning. So you could have a great top 10. If you don't have a best top 5, doesn't matter. Now, this team should have a strong top 5. They should have a strong top 7. Jaxson Robinson is going to get drafted to the NBA, in my humble opinion. Kobe Brea is extremely efficient. So sometimes the alpha, if Robinson's creating plays, or Kirk Kriisa is creating plays, doesn't mean he's taking the shot. Lamont Butler hit the greatest shot in Final Four history. And one of the greatest, excuse me.
I was about to say, Vanna.
One of the greatest. He hit one of the greatest shots in Final Four history. And this team does have shot makers and playmakers. So, I think Kentucky's going to be good. Are they second in the league? I don't think so. I would side closer to the team that won the league last year, Tennessee, or Auburn. I'm not buying A&M. A&M to me keeps winning off seasons, and they keep not doing enough winning in the regular season. This is back-to-back years we've had these expectations. It's time for them to turn those into results. But I am on the Tennessee wagon. I believe that Chaz Lanier can be a massive bucket getter for this team, and that Rick Barnes changed his offense last year, and it worked. And I think that was the start of a trend.